What it do? What it do? What it do? What's the vibe, man? Hey, we gonna chop it up. You hear me? Quick little jokes. We gonna get straight into it, dog. Man, listen. These demons, these fallen, these wicked entities, you hear me? They don't really like eye contact. You know what I'm saying? That's why they always be looking off. You know what I'm saying? That's why they always be squinting their eyes because, hey, you notice how you'll give them a little glance and then they start to batting their eyes and squinting their eyes and shit, blinking their eyes. You know why? Why? That's because they realize that their darkness is being submerged from within. And just that little glance of light done just that much damage. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they don't like you looking them in their eyes. You understand what I'm saying? You shining light on the things they try to hide within, submerge within. They don't want it, you know what I'm saying, to come to the surface. That's why they smoke, they drink, they pop their pills, do whatever else they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people out here numbing themselves. They getting better, but they not getting better. You know what I'm saying? And they know that you got the light. Man, I give y'all a little story, man. I remember I got kidnapped and I was in jail. And my bunkie, he was on demon time. And I remember when I first looked at the dude, he started squinting his eyes. And I was like, I was in my head asking myself, like, damn, I wish I had Google for this. And I was like, why is he squinting his eyes like that? But it was a couple dudes that was just squinting their eyes when I looked at them in jail. Cause I'm in that bitch with all type of figures, all type of entities, all type of souls and soulless. You know what I'm saying? And dude, every time I looked at that dude, he'd squint his eyes. And I was like, damn, I noticed it'll be a different type of squint from that dude, other dudes that was in jail, and just various times throughout my life. And that acknowledged the spiritual lighthouse with fragment, you know what I'm saying, with segment that I was in my life. Is my light shining brighter? Is it shining, you know what I'm saying? And dude eyes was squinting, bro, like I was blinding him. And we blind them when we look in their eyes. We see what they hide, you know what I'm saying? It's a cesspool full of just trauma, drama, and just full of sins. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want you to see their sins. Because they know when they look in our eyes, we are the image, the reflection of Big God, via gods and goddesses and his image. You know what I'm saying? We walk behind Big God who has nothing but judgment, and they see a preview of their judgment every time they look in our eyes, and they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? They trying to enjoy they time right now. You know what I'm saying? They trying to Napoleon Dynamite right now. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get it in. They trying to groovy. You know what I'm saying? They trying to release all their mojo they can right now. Excuse me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's why they be squinting. That's why they be looking off. You know what I'm saying? Your light it blinds them. It's a technique called the solar flare. You blind them, man. They not expecting that, man. They not expecting them. They not used to looking in nobody's eyes like that. Everybody eyes they look into is just the same type of void, same type of black hole. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they don't like us looking at them. So they'll do their little tricks, you know what I'm saying? They Jedi mind tricks, you know what I'm saying? Do their little telepathy and telekinesis, or it'll be somebody else in a surrounding environment with you trying to do a psychic attack while you just, you know what I'm saying, just observe it, being assertive and alertive. So you just looking at them, but they don't even want you to look at them. So they got another one trying to do a psychic attack so you could look off and they could breathe. Because some of them, none of them could really deal with it and tolerate it. But some of them, you know what I'm saying, can survive. Some of them, we murder them on sight real quick. They have a quick just by looking in our eyes because it be so much light, so much sunshine. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're vibing high, you're feeling good, smelling good, looking good. You know what I'm saying? And that's why as a chosen one, they don't like us looking at them, dog. We also remind them who they were supposed to be, what they were supposed to have done. We remind them of the authenticity that they traded for the artificial. You know what I'm saying? We remind them that they traded the marathon for the sprint. We remind them, A, that they traded the self-sabotaging ways over the self-preservation and the longevity. You understand what I'm saying? We remind them, and that's why they don't like looking in our eyes. We remind them that they traded eternal life for everlasting life. You understand what I'm saying? That they don't like that. They don't like to be reminded what they left, what they walked behind, what they left behind, what they walked away from. The only motherfucker that could really truly purchase our souls and give us what we really worth is the Most High. But they sold their souls. You know what I'm saying? They look at us and they realize that we remind them that they were supposed to stay on track with the long term, but they settle for the short term. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't like looking us in our eyes as a chosen one. You know what I'm saying? We irritate their demons. If being in the atmosphere with them irritate their demons, you think adding a little bit more light, we walking around as the light. But I mean, when you put that flashlight on something, when you put that magnifying glass on something, yeah, they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? When you look in their eyes, it's like you've been asleep for 4 days in a row, and somebody just threw your body outside in the sun at 3 p.m. But your eyes, you gonna be blinking for a minute. Your eyes gotta adjust to that sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Adjust to that sharpness and that contrast. The eyes ain't adjusted. They eyes not adjusted to seeing something so bright. They vision is in the darkness. What they see is in the darkness. How they think is in the darkness. I mean, the rotten darkness. Everything is in the darkness when you close your eyes in the darkness. But it's a difference from our darkness and they darkness. You get what I'm saying? And that's why they don't like you looking in the eyes, bro. That's why they don't like us looking in the eyes, man. We see them for what they are. We already could feel it off their energy, but just going inside their eyes is just like getting a whole little gallery, you know what I'm saying? You get a quick, you get the best 10 selfies, best 10 snapshots of their life. They don't like that. They don't want you to know what they done. They don't want they got skeletons in their closet, bro. They got secrets they gonna take to the grave with them. They ain't even try to offer them to give them the guide. They trying you know what I'm saying? They don't want you to see that. And that as a chosen one, that's why they don't want you to in the eyes, bro. That's why they get to squint. That's why they get to looking off, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Think about trying to walk down the dark street with no street lights and somebody got their high beams on and you trying to look into them lights. You see what happens to deers. You feel me? You gotta keep it pushing. And you know what I'm saying, you gotta imagine that, man. You blinding them, you paralyzing them, you know what I'm saying, they don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying, they know that they gonna come, they just don't know when, but it's gonna come for them. And just looking in your eyes is reminding them they not trying to have that on their mind. You know what I'm saying, they get off on doing evil things. They get off on doing evil eyes and psychic attacks. You understand what I'm saying? When you got the light to pierce that and shut that down, they don't like that, dog. That's why they don't like to look you in your eyes, especially when you look in them in their eyes. Nah, they'll look you in your eyes when you ain't paying no mind and you somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Trying to read your mind and shit. But yeah, man, I just wanted to chop it up, man. Late night jokes. Y'all know the drill, man. Y'all know the deal. Like, share, comment, subscribe, man. I got the cash app. It's $ 781 THEVBYZ. Just chopping it up about the chosen ones, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I visualized and I manifested myself out of jail when they kidnapped me, dog. And you know what my bunkie said, the dude that slept under me, that couldn't look me in my eyes, he always squinted. He was like, this shit bigger than Nino Brown. God got something to do with this. God got something to do with this. And the demons and everybody was going crazy, dog, because, uh, Man, I got out of jail that day because I was supposed to have court later down the line, maybe like six to 4 days down the line. I was supposed to have my court date. My court date came ahead of time because I was just praying and visualizing and manifesting and doing affirmations. I wasn't doing nothing else besides that and working out, eating, and sleeping, and and, and, and taking a shower, nigga. That's it. That's it. No engagement, no phone calls, no commissary, no really talking to the other cellmates. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then I talk to my neighbor. You know, he was an old head, you know what I'm saying? I can only talk to the motherfuckers that had some type of sense in that bitch. I don't jail for stupid motherfuckers. I don't like jail. But it's some smart motherfuckers that's in there too, you know. People just make mistakes and then some mistakes people try to put on you. You dig? But yeah, dog, my bonky said that shit. He was like, yeah, this guy got something to do with this. And then another motherfucker in there was like, hey bro, I knew you was gonna get out of jail today. I was like, nigga, how you know? Nigga, you like, cause I could see your halo over your head. And I was like, dang, I ain't know what he mean at the time. You know what I'm saying? He could see my light, he could see that light, that ring of that light, he could see that aura around my head. You know what I'm saying? And you beaming them, bro. You beaming them. These are demons. They play in darkness and scandalous and you know what I'm saying, and scarcity. They play in conniving and shiesty ways. You understand what I'm saying? They playing for Club Slytherin. You dig it's Hogwarts over here. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they don't. That's why they can't look us in our eyes, bro. They don't want us to see the mayhem and the massacres they've been going through and dealing with. The things that keep them up at night while they can't sleep. We can sleep at night. We don't need to smoke, drink, eat, pop, nothing to go to sleep. Sleep fine at night too, and throughout the night. Them, they only could sleep at night if they done something evil. And when you got that light in your eyes and you staying assertive and alertive and you observing your surroundings, you shut down that evil and they can't go to sleep. They gonna try to catch you tomorrow or something. They gonna remember that. You ever looked them in the eyes and gave them that? Don't you do that shit? And they get mad. They get so mad and frustrated. They gotta get off the scene. Hold that anger. Hold that hate. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't. That's why they don't like to look us in our eyes. They'll try to look us in our eyes when we ain't looking. You know what I'm saying? They'll whisper evil things and stuff like that. But when we look them in their eyes, oh yeah, we put that focus on them. Yeah, that shit blinding them. That shit burning them. You feel me? It's like a perm. It's like getting perm in their eyes when they look us in their eyes. When they look us in our eyes, you know what I'm saying? They see the pressure that they run from that they can't take. You know what I'm saying? The shards of the diamonds start to eat up their eye, their first eye, looking us in our eye, man. They can't deal with this, man. They used to back doors and shortcuts. We go to longevity, the extra mile. That's something that can't be measured. You know what I'm saying? And the lumens that we got coming out our eyes, the voltage that they have don't support that. Don't support that format. I'm sorry, sir. You know what I'm saying? It's like they 16 gigabyte Android cell phones and we 32 gigabyte memory cards. You know what I'm saying? It's too much for them. What they used to holding. You know what I'm saying? They're not used to that. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all. There won't be no chatty patty, man. I just wanted to chop it up. If you notice as a chosen one, they really can't look us in our eyes, man. They always be squinting. Once you get to see them squinting, you already know that's the evil side. I mean, you could tell off the energy before you even get that close in nature, but you know what I'm saying? You can just tell all the subtle signs that just let it be known what type of time it is, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. Y'all have a beautiful night, have a beautiful rotation. I'm gonna chop it up with y'all on the next ep. Any topics, anything y'all want me to dissect, let me know. I'm gonna get at y'all. Oasis.